What about my sweat equity? Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Toddy.
My sweat equity.
What? Sweat equity.
What about my sweat equity?
What?
Sweat Equity podcast and streaming show, pragmatic entrepreneurial advice and dick jokes. Hashtag girthy ROI. Hashtag 69B2B. I'm your host, Lost Smith. Sitting here with me is the other co-host, Mr. Eric Fletcher.
John Paul, what were you talking about over the oh, you didn't hear me. John Paul, what were you trying to say when we came in there?
Where's my shirt?
Okay, there we go.
Give something for the ladies.
Okay, yeah.
Watch out, Hinge.
JP is now shirtless because we're going back to back and he didn't want anybody to know. And now I ruined it for you. Nothing.
Then why did you change?
Because it looks different. My Yang shirt was all sweaty.
Yeah, we're trying to get our production schedule, like we're having people start renting our production services in the studio. And
Sweatlodge.studio, check it out.
Yeah, if you're local to the area or even not, we can do a consulting hour or two.
Sure.
And tell you what to get, what to do. So look, a lot of people, I'm finding out there's a big market for people who want to do their own podcast or show out of here. B, there's a lot of people outside the area that just don't know what to get, even though we give out a lot of that information for free on here.
Yeah. Because
we're dumb, but we don't give out everything.
No.
We're not that dumb. So.
But also, like, there's a monetary barrier to entry with this thing. Like, it's not like, it used to be podcast. All you need is a microphone and a computer. It's like,
we focus on video.
If you want to do it shitty.
Right. We focus on video too. We feel like that's going to be, you have to simultaneously have audio and video that count, because video is going to be more and more as it gets cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah.
And there's just more video out there, more bandwidth or less bandwidth issues.
Mm-hmm.
Mobile is going to be just streaming.
Yeah.
1080 at some point.
Yeah.
Off of self-service. So off of 5G, 6G, or whatever it is. Anyway.
6G.
Yeah. We're always a G behind.
Yeah. Korea.
Yeah.
South Korea.
I don't want to be the first. So I'd rather get the newest thing after someone's been through it.
Right.
Sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Work out the kinks.
Yeah. So we forgot to do our sponsors last episode. If you need a phone line for your business, Grasshopper is your app to do that. Try grasshopper.com/sweat. That hooks us up with a little something, helps the show out. If you're getting a business line anyway, you need a scalable business phone app.
Don't be a jabroni.
Don't be a total jabroni. Don't have a Google voice line.
Get that J-Brone Google voice line out of there.
A lot of people do that Google voice. If I call someone, I call a business and has Google voice, you're already down 5 points on me.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
That's already a 6-point scale he works on too. You're done.
Yeah.
Over.
You're on thin ice,
you only
mister.
got 1 point left.
So Grasshopper, you can get a vanity number too if you want something where you spell out like if you spell out jabroni, 1-800-jabroni.
I was literally looking up a LASIK place today near my house, and the last 4 numbers in their phone number were 2020. I was like, ooh, that's good.
That's clever.
That's good.
So
I remember it now.
Those are hard to do. They're hard to get, figure out what's available. Oh, they paid out the
ass, I'm sure, for that.
You can also do a vanity number brokerage through Grasshopper too. So cool. It's a one-stop shop for all that. You want to wait 1-800 number, you want a local number, you can get it on there. Try grasshopper.com/sweat. If you got some books, you got some bookkeeping to do, you're a small business, you're doing your own brand on the side, maybe you got an Etsy store, you're selling that turquoise jewelry, bolo ties, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
All the leathers.
Mm-hmm. You're a leather maker out in Southwest.
New Mexico. Open an imported leather shop.
Yeah. You need to follow, you need to be able to track that automatically.
Looking at, Eric.
What?
I'm sorry, I just exploded.
Jesus.
Eric, stop looking at yourself.
I'm not looking at myself. How can I look at myself? Dude, just if you got, unless you're bringing something constructive to the table, just shut it.
Some people, you got to look at yourself.
There you go.
You got to look at your books. You got to look at your books like you look at yourself. Go Fresh Books.
There you go.
It's gofreshbooks.com/sweat. GoFreshBooks.com/sweat. And last sponsor to help out the podcast, Warby Parker glasses. If you go to warbyparkertrial.com/sweat, you get 5 pairs of sunglasses, or they got sunglasses now, but prescription glasses. They'll send it to you. They'll do it. You can order them on the size of your head on the site.
Yep.
So I've got a big John Elway horse head.
Yep. Go to the horse section.
Go to Peyton Manning
equestrian glasses.
Glasses I'm wearing. They're Warby Parker. And so warbyparkertrial.com/sweat. These are all ways you can help the podcast, including sweatlodge.studio. Go to Tocobaga, tocoba.ga for any digital marketing needs. And last but not least, go to iTunes, give us 5-star rate review.
Apple Podcasts now.
Yeah. Apple Podcast app, whatever it is. Spotify, be a follower on there. All that good stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We're bad about getting that in there.
And I know. I'm really proud of you, buddy.
Yeah.
You did good. You did good.
In the follow-up department for a couple episodes back, we're talking about ketogenic. I'm in the no sugar, no grain, but less sugar, less grain, let's call it. I think that's something y'all said on that episode.
Yeah.
So I've started tapering it back. See the Gatorade Zero.
Yeah.
It probably has something bad for me in it, but
that's fine.
nothing that tastes good. That's the rule. Like this tastes like old Gatorade.
Calorically, that's fine.
Right. I need less.
You can't worry about the other, like, whatever cancers it might be causing, because
one thing at a time.
They don't entirely know.
Moderation, right? So, but I asked y'all, and I forgot to follow up on that episode, breakfast, lunch, dinner. What's something I know you can do with the thing I'm trying to do is the no sugar, no grain, or less sugar, less grain. For breakfast, I could do
bacon and eggs, baby.
Eggs and bacon every
If you
day.
like breakfast food, keto's great.
So eggs and bacon or sausage.
Yeah.
Fine.
Sausage,
all the
great.
Meat is fine to have just on its
Pretty
own.
much, yeah. Make it fatty.
What's your normal routine? Give me like a normal.
Well, that's the thing. I don't eat breakfast or lunch, really. You know, the way I operate, I go till like 5, 6 o'clock, and then we eat a big dinner. Just because you don't have the ups and downs. You don't get that, like, oh, I got to eat out of routine. I don't, have low blood sugar. So it's really like it's efficient. I spend less time thinking about food when it's just like, okay, now I can eat.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. I remember when I had better control of what I was eating, as far as just not being a fatty and eating a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Like I have been lately, just because I haven't been planning it. But I
mean, if you go by the like just counting carbs and you want to eat just whatever you want in terms of like volume, but you're keeping your carbs down, I mean, you can stuff your face till you're sick. But if you keep the carbs down, in theory, you should be all right.
At one point, when I was like 21 and just moved to LA, was broke, had my first job kind of thing.
Yeah,
I would eat just tuna straight up out of the can, get all the juice out, and just put it on a cracker. I can't do crackers now, but I would just muscle through it.
Put on lettuce now.
Yeah, whatever. I would just eat it and just move on. I used to be way more Nick Saban about food, and I don't know why I got away from that. He eats the same thing every day.
Yeah, I could see that.
Every breakfast. Here's why. He doesn't want to think about it.
Right. Exactly.
It's the same reason Mark Zuckerberg wears the same clothes every day.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't want to think about it.
What I do. Or still dental till I die, baby.
Yeah, I find a shirt that fits. Like, this is a Banana Republic button-down shirt.
Ooh.
Yeah, wait till it goes on sale online. Buy a bunch of the same shirt.
Yeah.
That Grant fit.
Right.
For us short arms. T-Rex arms.
What's it called? Grant fit?
Yeah.
That's I've never heard that. For short arm people?
No, it's their kind of tailoring.
Oh, they don't actually say it?
It says Grant fit on the inside, but it's not like a
CeeLo
thing.
Green as their guy to put it
out. So you don't eat breakfast or lunch. That's crazy. I wake up fucking starving.
Yeah, that's a tough thing.
They call that ghrelin, I think.
So I will.
Why is this important for business?
You have to eat.
If you're an entrepreneur, you have to figure this out. You have to optimize your energy. I hate using that term. It sounds so douchey.
I know, but it's really, it's the best way to do it.
You have to figure out how to calibrate yourself at your best, and energy and food can really weigh you down. And lately I felt sluggish, and I'm like, I've been eating shit, not literal.
Yeah.
But been eating just garbage food lately because it's quick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem, man, dude. It's so
all
hard. Like
for me, it's all planning.
All the cheap foods, man, they're all horrible for you. It's so messed up to like if you want to try and eat this way, it's.
So that's why I was like, last night came back from the show. I was like, stop by the grocery store, the 24-hour one open, get whatever you can out of that, Walmart or whatever, because there's no Whole Foods that are open, but at least get some stuff, get meat, and just don't even have an option to have the snack food. Yeah,
green veggies. Just anything fatty. Fat's good.
Yeah, ate a fat steak yesterday for dinner.
Dude, yeah, you get to eat steaks that are taste good again.
Yeah.
Everything's great. Like you can become a great cook using butter and salt.
Yeah.
And whatever vegetable you want, and you learn how to cook it. Oh, it's good every time.
It's weird. All the stuff that was like margarine and Pam and like all this stuff was like, it was so bad for us to use.
Right, yeah. Now it's like, why did we do this? Oh, the corn farmers wanted us to use this made-up thing.
Part of it's marketing. The food pyramid was made. Oh God, I just heard this. Like,
oh, that bullshit.
Right, it was made in like the 70s or 80s. It was not been around that long, but it was a way to get more grain out there. It was a marketing ploy.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time. Dude, these
that's
sugar,
so crazy.
Sugar and corn. Whatever lobbies, industries, they really set us back. Like in the 80s when we were growing up, it's like, what do you expect people to do when you hear this growing up telling you this is how you're supposed to eat, this is what's good for you, and then it's like, oh, all that was bullshit.
So here's another thing I'm doing on top of trying to change the diet. I'm recording it. I'm marking it down just a little bit day by day. Here's the weight I'm at. Here's how I felt energy-wise all day. Here's how much I slept.
Yeah.
It's nerdy. It's super nerdy to do. And it's not my thing as far as like, I'm not that kind of discipline for, it's not my proclivity to be like, yes, I got a little project.
Yeah.
But the more I think about the advice you hear about dieting, we know by now, here's what we know. Everybody knows this. There's not one way to do it.
No.
There's no golden ticket in dieting.
Right.
All right. So it's the same thing with business. When someone tells you this is the way, right?
Okay. That's
you're gonna cherry pick if you want to.
Yeah.
A lot of people get by. Most people are skinny fat.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
Yeah.
Most people are skinny fat with their business.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Things are going well. I don't need to work on it. I don't necessarily. I'm not unhealthy right now. I just know I can get better.
Yeah.
And I think it'll help my mood, but also help my brain. It'll make me want to do more things. And for me, inertia's big. We talked about that a couple episodes ago. The more I do, the more I can do. Kind of in a weird way. It's kind of compounding, exponential for me. But what I'm really talking about is calibrating yourself and really knowing how to do that or where you're at your best for certain things.
Yeah, and I should say, again, the keto diet, I don't push it for weight loss. Like, you tend to lose weight when you do that. A lot of it water. But the reason why you're able to lose weight lots of times is because you're able to more control your intake.
Yeah.
So like if I'm not eating all day and then I'm eating dinner only, how much can I stuff in my face in that little bit of time before I go to bed? That really would add weight to me. It's like there's only so much you could do in that little amount of time.
Yeah.
Before you shit your pants, So it's
like
not
Julio Franco wake up in the middle of the night. Remember he played till he's like 47.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
For the Mets, he'd wake up at 3 a.m., make a smoothie, pound it, and go back to sleep to keep like his weight up.
That's that's old school bodybuilder shit, man. That's crazy. Like that used to be the thing. I eat 7 meals a day.
That
sounds like a huge pain in the ass.
Right. Yeah, your whole life surrounded. But I see those guys at the gym, and I'm like, God, that is a lifestyle.
Yeah, that's your whole life. When do I eat next?
And I always tell people, like, we kind of touched on this last episode with the amateur actors that y'all were dealing with. Try to find something where you're like, you did this as a bodybuilder, you can translate this to whatever business you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If that's that CBD patch business you're really pushing, like the CrossFit of 2015,
right?
How many CBD companies have you heard of?
Dude, I've gotten like 3 CBD companies sending me email marketing. Like, I didn't sign up for none of this.
Can we get Infinite CBD to sponsor us on this podcast? Or
Is that a real one?
Yeah, they do Legion of Skanks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're legit.
Okay.
Okay.
I like CBD oil.
I'm cool with it. I just don't like I don't think people are like being bombarded from every side about it.
No. Well, with anything.
Right. And obviously you're going to have a lot of jabronis in the game when it's something that's like, it's one of these things that's like, kind
of taboo.
I know about it because I smoked weed growing up.
Right.
And now I'm an expert in it, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's affiliate marketing at its worst, almost at this point.
Yeah, man. It's kind of you're not going to be able to differentiate yourself. Who's a CBD connoisseur?
I like Charlotte's Web.
Right, but that's because you've tried. But no, realistically, if you're trying to get new people, nobody knows what the fuck is good CBD oil or not.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna have the what's the fake Red Bull that's like 2 times jacked up? It's called
Red Line.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that. That's how I see about a lot of these CBD companies.
Yeah, might as well call it heart attack.
But at the same time, like I think part of my optimization and all that stuff is that thing of like CBD doesn't really work on me, but maybe I have so much other garbage I'm eating. It's kind of I'm not sensitive to it at all.
I mean, it's like not
I can drink a pot of coffee and go to sleep kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a CBD oil's not as hard hitting as you think it would be. It's kind of one of those like removes the anxiety a little bit. It doesn't feel like something's happening. It just kind of melts away, I think.
Right.
But I could see it not hitting some people as hard as they think it would.
Well, we're talking about strategies and kind of like that's the work-life strategy. You got to figure that out if you really want to kind of move forward or hit your goals, right?
Yep.
You have to have a strategy for said goals.
Yeah.
We get on the
plan it out.
Well, we were trying to see what we're going to talk about on this episode, and I was like, how about just strategies kind of thing? Because when you're in business, you have one general one, and most people don't really goal set in a tight way.
Yeah.
You have loose goals.
Yeah.
I know we've touched on this before, but like goals without dates or numbers are kind of just not really goals.
Sure. They're pipe dreams.
Your New Year's resolution, I'm going to lose more weight. That's not a goal.
Yeah.
That's a wish almost.
Put it on paper.
Oh, well, I'm going to lose 10 pounds by June.
In a day.
Okay. Or I'm going to go in a garbage bag run with the wrestling team from the local high school.
Right.
And I'm going to run with them.
Sweat it out.
Yeah. So like goals without kind of something quantifiable or without dates, it's a little tougher. A lot of people can't goal set and just go. There's some people that can. But it's kind of the same. A lot of people think they'll hear me say some people can, and it's like the same thing when people hear only 2% of people can really multitask.
Right.
Meaning like they can listen to someone talking to them while they're writing something
and actually comprehend it.
Right. It's like, or 1% of people can sleep like 3 hours a night kind of thing.
Yeah.
The narcissism in me and a lot of other people, they hear that and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely in that.
No, I am definitely actually in that.
Yeah.
I am.
I can't multitask, but I can juggle plates. I can start something over here in the morning. I go to this plate, get this going for 30 minutes, spin that plate, go to a third plate, and then I kind of go back to that first plate, and you kind of round robin that all day. That's my day usually.
Do you keep track of that in any way?
With Timely?
Do you?
Uh-huh.
Are you using that still?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me too.
We're paying for it.
Right, yeah, me too.
But I want to get an aggregate of all that work-life time and just see what that is. But overall, let's get out of the work-life part of it and kind of more pragmatic businessy stuff.
I just want to do some business stuff.
So like if you're not doing a quarterly meeting with yourself or with your small business or whatever it is, you need to do that. We call it the shrooms meeting.
Yeah, company picnic.
You need to get deep inside yourself, go camping, whatever it is, and go, what am I really doing?
Yeah.
And that's the way you can kind of goal set.
Yeah. Oh, I had a day like that yesterday. I was telling you about it, where it's like, okay, I got to do
How can I
this.
not have this happen again?
Yeah, I was like, I got to do this, this, and this, and it's like, oh, the dental office, the printer's down. Okay, well, I got to stop what I'm doing and go do that, because without a printer, ain't nobody getting any receipts. So I go over there, and it's like, I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. You know, I go get new cartridges, get one cartridge thinking it'll solve it, change it out. No, that doesn't work. It goes on to the next cartridge. It was just one of those days of like, oh, every time I try and fix this problem, 3 new ones arise. It was a day.
Right. And then so you got to go back. This is when you do that quarterly, because that may not come. You might fix it. You might patch it now. It might not come up for a while, but when it does, you're going to be right back where you were yesterday.
Right. So what I went on Amazon, making sure those ink cartridges, the good ones, not the cheap, ones from China, the knockoff ones, get the HP, the real ones. Those are coming in on a regular basis now. So,
and then strategy for a contingency plan.
Yeah.
What happens if that machine breaks down? Can I print it out of the regular printer?
Yeah.
How do I do
the other
that?
printer? No, I already got the other printer up there. Got second printer going. So the contingencies are in place, but man, it sucks when it's going down.
So that's a big. I mean, look, I watch Sesame Street with my kids, and the big thing they talk about on that show that's really interesting is what's your strategy for this and this.
Really?
Yeah, that's
been a while since I watched it.
It's a big underlying kind of subplot to a lot of to the main themes of each episode.
Right. But the sexual relationship between Snuffleupagus and Elmo.
I don't know if Snuffleupagus is a main player anymore.
What?
They kind of bring guys in and out, I've noticed over the years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're probably just the big ass dirty puppet thing that they use is just all nasty now.
Yeah.
I think it was nasty 20 years ago. I can't imagine what that looks like. Kids wiping their hands on it, putting their candy wrappers inside there.
I would hope they'd clean it every now and again, but I don't know. I would hope they'd have a cleaning strategy if they have strategies for other things.
Yeah. Ironically, Oscar the Grouch was the cleanest looking one. I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Lives in a dump. Lives in a trash can.
Yeah.
Wants trash. It looks A-okay to me.
Yeah. But we love him anyway.
He's like an artist, like a fancy Svet artist.
He's the artist guy.
Living in
Grouchy.
Brooklyn. Yeah. So what Sesame Street does talk about, it caught my ear because they bring it up so many times. I'm like, that's a weird word to introduce to a 2-year-old, but it makes sense, right? What other way would you talk about what's going to be the path to how you're going to think about doing this?
Yeah.
They're talking about cognitive kind of strategies. Whereas what we're kind of going through is a little bit of, I'd say, outline of a business plan kind of strategy, right?
Yeah.
Is every business needs a business plan of some sort, and a lot of people don't do it. We talked about planning last episode. A lot of people don't plan.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. It's boring.
I think when people hear business plan, they think, oh, that overwhelming giant document that you have to turn into the bank that's homework and you got to,
They think term paper.
Right.
And I go, what about just a wireframe?
Yeah.
And that, I should say outline from now on.
Or call it something different. Action plan.
An outline.
Yeah.
Outline. What are your goals? What do you want to do? What is the revenue? Let's start revenue. What is your revenue that you want to hit?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start there. And then let's work backwards. How are we going to do that this year? That's kind of how we approach it.
Yeah.
In this office. But I'd say, okay, now we got to do like a resource audit. In order to make a real strategy and a real game plan, you have to assess what's going on. You have to go, what resources do I have?
Yeah.
What are our pain points? What are the problems, potential issues? Everybody does this. Everybody does this in one way or another.
Yeah.
So it's not like this. That's why business is more psychology than it is anything else.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, we can't just be like, oh, we're going to make our own cars and sell them.
Right.
We don't have those resources.
Exactly.
There's only so much we can do, even if it's just manpower, that runs out.
And we focus on digital on this show only because it's always changing. So we feel like this is a good platform to tell people, hey, check out this app, check out what's going on here. And then the other part is a lot of people have an iPhone or a laptop. And so we feel like there's a lot of people younger than us that are trying to get their own thing started and can do it from that. Where you don't have to have a lot of assets or sometimes not a lot of money, just a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
And so that sweat equity.
Yeah.
And so
Hey-o.
titular. And so my thing with the business planning part is people get overwhelmed. I do too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Financial planning, like going over your break-even rates, and going over like your burn rate, how fast you're going to go through that loan,
right,
or that outside capital or whatever it is.
Yeah, break even's a big one.
Break even's a big one. In y'all's instance, you have a dental practice, you bought a building, so it's kind of two investments in one.
Yeah, and
then how much do you need to make? And we had a better conversation off mic after the podcast last time. With your wife in here, drmorganti.com, talking about that's her real name. It's drmorganti.com.
Right.
Yeah. The whole thing.
So I scream that in bed. I'm a screamer.
Yeah. Good thing you're on that keto. I didn't eat much.
Up all night.
Yeah. So that we talked about it off air. It's like, you guys are doing great, but how can you unpucker your butthole per se?
Exactly.
And it's having these, what's called the benchmarks, KPIs in digital, key performance indicators.
Yes.
If you know, I was saying, like, if you know you have this amount of leads or people interested, for us, this is the example I gave. If we have 20 interested prospective clients, I know I can kind of not relax, but I know I'm not in like urgency mode.
Right. You know that sort of the pond is full, it's stocked. It's there to be fished.
And ours, from interested prospective client to current client, can take a month, sometimes 3.
Yeah.
Right. So it takes us a while. So that we have a big lead time.
A lot of foreplay.
We can close that down eventually. The better we qualify our leads, yada, 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 or marketing, all that stuff.
Right.
We're working on that. But I'm saying, like, every company has that. Every brand, you're doing a t-shirt shop online, whatever it is, you know, you got to go, okay, if I buy my own t-shirts, sell them online, now I have a bunch of inventory. Okay, that then for me to make money, I've got to sell 50 of the 100 just to break even.
Right.
And that's a lot of time too. Or I can do something like Redbubble or Big Cartel or one of these sites that you upload the design and you just sell the shirt.
Oh yeah,
digitally.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So you have to do a cost benefit of that, and then but you might not own that that artwork anymore.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of anxiety that goes with feeling out of control with that sort of thing, like you were saying, the puckered butthole. And really, if you get those numbers out down on paper, I feel like I say this every episode, but it's like if you get it down there and
it's worth repeating,
and you can see it and it's out in front of you, you know exactly where you are. It's not a mystery. It's not this like thing in the other room that you don't even want to look or think about, or, you know, if you can get out in front of it and just kind of go from there. I don't know how you set goals without knowing where you are to begin with.
You can. I mean, you can, right?
I mean, if we're talking legitimate resources saying, okay, we're here, can we get here?
So here's an example. You can go, I own a pizza place. I want $1 million in revenue for the year.
Right.
Okay. Then you go back and you do all these you go audit your resources. What do I have? What's our cash flow? Now what's our, P&L look like? What's our monthly, income statement look like? What do our cash flows look like? Once you know that stuff, and look, those are scary to a lot of people. I fucking hate doing them too.
Yeah.
But you become more anxious if you don't know those numbers, like with military like callback.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, you should be able to come in here and ask me, and I should be able to go, oh, it's our margins are 37%.
Yeah.
I should know that offhand.
It's like being anxious to go on stage and do stand up. It's like,
I like that.
Just get it done.
No,
once it's done,
feels good.
You have that thing that it might not have went well or whatever, and you just have the relief of it being over. At least that part of it's over.
Oh, no.
I know, but you're weird. I'm saying in general for most people.
No, my heart rate is up before I'm on stage. A little bit, slightly, and then when I'm on stage, it's way lower than normal. I know that's really strange.
And you tracked it with your Apple Watch?
I did.
It's interesting.
I found it really interesting. Well, no, not now when I was doing it a lot.
Go into lizard brain mode.
Yeah, there's something about once you're up there, you get one laugh in or something where you're like, okay, the crowd's cool. I can vamp.
Yeah.
But say, all right, so back to like pizza place scenario. So you made $1 million goal. And then you go back and do kind of the audit of what's going on currently. And now you go back to that goal and go, is that realistic?
Right.
That's kind of how you can do it.
Yeah.
You could start where I want to get to X and just give yourself a what they call a BHAG. You know what that is?
No.
A big, hairy, audacious goal.
Okay.
It's one of those like B school terms that are just no one really uses.
B standing for
business school.
Right.
It's one, I'll just abbreviate everything. But it's one of those big, hairy, audacious goals. I've got a couple for this firm, and one of them is, hey, I might get a part-time, full-time job instead of a business loan because I'm going to spend the same amount of time and effort paying off that business loan for this place. I might as well just work remotely for someone and work around that.
That's a good point.
So I did a cost benefit of that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was looking at business loans and all that stuff, and it's like, well, by the time I do that, I will spend as much effort and maybe be in worse position than if I just, or I could do both, honestly.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of work.
Newsflash, asshole!
That's something I've been wanting to bring up. Not that you do this. A lot of people do this, though.
Oh, here we go. I'm on the defensive.
Yeah, no, you ever go, you're doing a lot of things. You did video production last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We do this podcast. You do a lot behind the scenes. You're doing your own business with your wife, which don't get it twisted. Doing a family business is really hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, and it's hard to keep the relationship copacetic.
Uh-huh.
So I never underestimate that part. And then you're doing a bunch of things, and you tell people are like, man, you're doing so many things. And they do this thing where it goes, that sounds like a lot.
Right.
And you're like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But then it'll creep in my head sometimes. Then I'm like, man, maybe it is a lot.
Yeah. I don't ever let myself be like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm not like.
But no, I'm just saying when other people, they go, what are you doing? And you go, I'm doing these 4 things right now.
Yeah.
And they go, oh my God, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. No.
I mean, yeah, I have the same amount of hours in a day as you do.
Right. I never know what to say back. I'm like, yeah, but okay.
I know, because what are you going to do? Be like, yeah, I do a lot more than you do.
Well,
and it's just like, oh, what a dick.
A lot of it's iceberg theory too. So like a lot of people don't know you've been doing video stuff for 10 years.
Right.
And this podcast we've been doing for a couple of years. And like me with stand-up, people don't know how long I've been doing it, how much I've done it.
Yeah.
And so like when they go like, oh, let's try to meet up for a drink. I'm like, well, I got this thing and I got this thing. Can we meet like 40 days from now?
Yeah.
At a happy hour?
Yeah.
And I'll have one drink and then I'll have to leave.
I mean, at least we can say like we got to definitively do these things other than like, yeah, I'm busy.
Yeah,
I'm busy.
God damn, I
so
hate
busy.
that. That's the opposite. That's the other side of that. The people that tell me
You
they're
mean
too busy.
tired?
Yeah.
You mean lazy? Oh, that's what I hear.
No, like, don't get me wrong. My default is lazy. I am a lazy.
Right,
I fight
me too.
against it every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd want to lay around all the time. Who doesn't?
Like it is hard to get up early as shit in the morning, like you've been telling me to do, but you fight against it. And once you get up and get rolling, just go, all right, let's go.
I mean, just in general, to bring it back to the like keto diet thing, the human body does not want to use this energy unless it's for something to keep you alive or useful. And like,
why are you talking like Bill Cosby?
Really? I didn't think it was. The keto, the keto diet. The like, you don't want to like, you're gonna want to lay around. Like everybody wants to do that. It's how your body works. Like, it's not, we're weird now. We have all this stuff around. You got to force yourself to do it. Like, it doesn't always work that way.
Where are we at? What time?
I already gave you
Newsflash, asshole!
I forgot that's our new 2-minute
Forgot.
warning. Anything else?
I think it's good.
No, I think we're good. Strategies. If you go on to the Tokabaga Pinterest, I'm on my Pinterest, dog.
I hope.
There's a lot of strategy infographics on there that I've cultivated over time. Yeah, I'm a Pinterest guy.
Interesting.
But I like looking up the strategies in an infographic visual way. And there's one that maybe we could post with this episode that has like big time strategies from like 1947. There's one big one that has come out every year That's what I wanted to get to, but we don't have enough time.
Yeah, we don't have time for that shit.
What about my sweat equity?
Bye.
SweatEquityPod.com. Pinterest.
Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Get my vision board on.
Sweat equity.
What about my sweat equity?